You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
We've made difficult decisions.
And there are still more ahead of us.
2 people aren't enough to save the galaxy.
We need the toughest,
Smartest.
deadliest allies.
We need you.
We need you to join us.
And listen to Reignite.
A certain point of view podcast about storytelling.
Love.
And Mass Effect.
Join us every other Thursday as we fight for the fate of an entire galaxy.
You can find us everywhere you get your podcasts.
Or at certainpov.com/reignite.
We're counting on you.
We should go.
Well, it's time for a very special journey into mystery because, Ian, we made it.
My God.
We made it to the next MCU movie. We made it to Black Widow. We thought it was never going to get here.
It was never going to get here. For people in the future listening to this, or people here, if there's anybody in the old Chatterooski, the season 1 was supposed to be broken up by the new releases of movies. But that didn't happen.
It really didn't.
Now we're halfway through the other Marvel property movies. And oh my God, finally a new MCU movie. I'm so excited.
I mean, how did you feel? What did you think? Just a very preliminary, what were your thoughts on Black Widow?
I had a lot of fun.
Good.
It felt good to be back in a theater. I went to a theater because I felt like I could watch it on Disney Plus, but I need the theater experience for an MCU movie. And it felt good to be back in the theater. It felt good to sit through an MCU movie that is nowhere. It's like it or love it, or like it or hate it. It's even if you hate it, it's better than Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 3. So we're better. We're doing okay.
This is true. This is very true.
I had a great time. Me and Ricky went to see it, and it was great. How'd you like it? Preliminary.
My preliminary is I enjoyed it immensely. I enjoyed the feel. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the action bits. It was just a good time all around, and I was happy to finally watch an MCU movie in the theater again.
Yes, absolutely. But before we get into that, Mitch, I know we have other things that we need to talk about.
This is true. As always, we're going to get into a little bit of Marvel MCU news, and then we're going to talk about Loki, episode 5. So we are going to spoil Loki episode 5. We are going to spoil Black Widow. So if you've not watched either one of those things yet, please go watch them and then come back and listen to us.
We'll be here.
We will.
You can hit the pause button. We'll be here. Go experience, because this is good. This is good content for you to be ingesting, digesting, consuming.
I mean, if you're gonna digest it, maybe go get some Pepto too. We might not
spicy.
go down. Yeah,
it's spicy.
So the 2 bits of MCU news that we're going to talk about both revolve around trailers. So Ryan Reynolds tweeted out what he's calling a reaction video to the Free Guy trailer. So Free Guy is his Fox movie that's coming out here pretty soon. It was supposed to come out back just after the merger, but then things got moved around because of the merger of Fox and Sony, or Fox and Disney. And then because of the pandemic got pushed back even further. So in this reaction video, Deadpool and Korg from Thor Ragnarok both react to the trailer. Now, this is literally the first crossover of Deadpool into the MCU, in a way. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited about it because that does confirm that Deadpool does exist within the MCU. Even if you want to be like, it's not, that's a stretch. I mean, come on, he's talking to Korg. And of all the people to put him in like a little tiny snippet of anything with, that it's Korg.
Well, Korg is voiced by Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is also in Free Guy. He is the villain, I believe.
Yeah, it's just funny to me that like
Yes.
I get I get the joke of between the two of them reviewing a movie that they're both in. Very meta, very Deadpool, by the way.
Plus, they were both in Green Lantern together too.
So like they have some history, but the fact that he's hanging out with Korg for this for some reason. First off, how do y'all know each other? I need something in a movie to tell us about that.
Well, I'm still sticking by the meme of Deadpool is Noob Master 69, though the character.
But we already know who that is. It's the dude from the Apple Store.
Yeah, you know what? I don't buy that.
He said it was like his cousin's account that he bought off of him or something like that. So, okay.
So yes, we have Deadpool in the MCU. It might be a stretch, but I mean, Korg is a CGI character. You can't get that character in there without the permission from Marvel Studios, I would assume. So I'm all about it.
Yeah. Magic Bollocks in chat. He's like, no, that's canon. It counts. So it has John's stamp of approval.
There you go.
So it's not a hard stamp to get, but it's there. Hi, John.
Okay, second trailer. Disney Plus, What If? I am stoked for this show. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but I know it's an half hour animated series. We got some of the actors back to do the voices of their characters. One of the big reveals, or not really reveal, but because we knew about it already, but Chadwick Boseman's last acting role is going to be voicing T'Challa for this What If show.
And I'm really excited that we got just like a couple glimpses of what he's doing for What If, because T'Challa Star-Lord seems like a pretty fun story.
Yes, and I really want to know how we get to that point. Like, the Ravagers pick up T'Challa instead of picking up Peter Quill. That's gonna be interesting. Now, I heard some theories that like the stuff that we're going to see in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to be kind of tied into these What If stories.
That would make sense. I mean, we're going through a bunch of like wonky multiverse things, so if a universe exists where if there's an infinite number of universes for everything to be possible, then yeah, go for it.
Sure,
Use
why
this
not?
as a place to just kind of like churn out ideas and just toss them in like little cameo bits, little Easter egg bits through Multiverse of Madness. Let's go.
Some of the ones that I remember, because I don't remember all of them, we saw T'Challa as Star-Lord. We saw Captain Carter, or Captain Britain. So Peggy Carter gets the super soldier serum. I believe in that one, Steve Rogers, the not so muscular one, gets to be inside the first Iron Man suit that Howard Stark's going to invent. Do you remember some of the other ones that we saw? Oh, Marvel Zombies. We definitely saw zombies in there.
Yes, 100%. I'm excited that they're finally taking a stab at Marvel Zombies, because it was a fun thing for a while, and I want more of it.
Oh, I believe we also saw Michael B. Jordan returning to voice Killmonger. He is going to be Killmonger. That's what it was. Yeah, Tony Stark is going to give him an Iron Man suit because he saves his life.
Also, I'm down for, and I think they made a big mistake potentially being they made a mistake being ambiguous with the fate of Killmonger, because like they let you think that he died there on the cliff, but like that's a little too easy, and they like to be very blatant with when they kill their villains.
True.
So I don't think he's dead, but who knows? And they shouldn't have killed Killmonger. That's all I'm going to say. Michael B. Jordan did too good of a job in that role. Let him do his thing. You already killed... You can't kill off two villains in one movie. You killed Claw and Killmonger. No, shut up.
I'm all for it. What? Any other things that you remember from the trailer that you'd want to talk about?
No, you actually took the big ones I was excited about. Marvel Zombies, though, man. Like, I need gross zombie Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that too. So I can't wait. But that's it. Those are the two things I wanted to talk about from the MCU. So speaking of the multiverse, ultimate timelines, you want to get into that 5th episode of Loki? It's called Journey into Mystery.
Yeah, so Malfoy had tweeted at us earlier that day last week. It was like, "Hey, did y'all see the name of this episode?" I didn't. I intentionally keep myself blind on the episode until I watch it. And later, after I watched the episode, I had the privilege of tweeting at Mitch, "Hey, we're canon now. I don't care what anybody says. We're there. That's us."
Oh man, and it was a decent episode too. I mean, it had a lot of action. I guess the further my nitpicky about this show is that it just the first half of every episode always seems so boring and slow to me. Like I'm sorry, I know I'm in the minority and everybody can at me that they want, but I just want the show to get going. And then the last half hour or last half of it, usually a lot of stuff starts happening and then there's a big huh? And then episode's over. So they know how to get you to come back.
So Malfoy wants to know. He's like, "Is your show not a reference to the same thing?"
Oh, it is. So
it totally is.
Journey into Mystery was one of the Atlas Comics titles before it became Marvel Comics. Atlas Comics had Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, Journey into Mystery, Amazing Fantasy. Like all these things were titles of the comic books where we saw these characters that show up first. We picked Journey into Mystery because we were journeying into the phase 4 of the Marvel's MCU. So we didn't know what was going to happen. It was going to be a mystery, and we were going to try and solve that mystery. Thor and Loki both had their first appearances in Journey into Mystery. So thus the reason why they picked that title.
Yeah, and I know it has nothing to do with us, but you can't convince me it has nothing to do with us. I've been talking to Marvel. I've been talking to Disney since day one. And what happens? Journey to Mystery. It's a little sus. It's a little suspicious. That's us. We did it.
I mean, all those come to the side with me, Marvel and Disney that you do. Obviously, it stuck. They were like, right. Oh, they're using that Journey into Mystery title. Maybe we should use that again.
Right. Oh, man. So, real quick with chat here. Malfoy says that my Killmonger take is a bad one. Death is better than bondage. Nah, he's dead. To which John has a flavorful response.
About bondage, I assume.
Yeah, he said, as a recreational sub, I beg to differ, Killmonger.
Look, I know what he said at the end of that episode, or at the end of the movie, but I still feel like T'Challa would not have let him pass. Plus, if you remember from Civil War, they put Bucky inside of what are those called? Chambers to keep you frozen. So
yeah, like a cryo tube.
There you go, cryo tube. He could totally have put Killmonger inside there, going against his wishes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I detract from the conversation at hand.
It's all one big conversation. I'm glad to have it.
So Loki, episode 5, Journey into Mystery. I was heartbroken the episode before when Owen Wilson got.
What? But
he's back, and he's headed back to the TVA to whoop some ass. because he's big mad about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. He's like, well, you're telling me that there's a chance that I could have had a jet ski at some point in my life and I don't remember? And he's just headed back with fire in his eyes and Freebird in his heart. Here we go.
And possibly fire in his hands. He's going to go burn the place down, starting with his desk.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Angry Owen Wilson. I know he said that he doesn't say wow anywhere in this show, but I want him to be lying to us.
It's a possibility. The MCU promos have lied to us in the past, so I can see it happening.
Exactly.
Owen Wilson or Mobius comes flying in on his pizza delivery car and totally saves Sylvie from the Alioth, the big smoke monster.
Yeah. Is it the same smoke monster as the one from Lost?
I mean, a lot of people have thrown that out there. I think Magic Bollocks himself threw that out there previously.
Is that the same one?
It could be. In the comic books, the character of Alioth was created by the man who Mobius is based off of, Mark Grunwald. Also, the reason why you see Mark Grunwald on the license plate of the pizza delivery car. Alioth was the like guard dog, I think, or enemy, one of the two. It's either guard dog or enemy of Kang. So, leading us further into Kangness.
It's been confirmed that we're going to get Kang, right?
Yes, but it's confirmed Kang is going to show up in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania.
Okay.
No idea if he's going to show up here.
Which that's a title in it of itself that I'm going to have words about at some point. Because, like, these subtitles are getting goofy.
It is quite silly. Now, the first one went Ant-Man. The second one went Ant-Man and the Wasp. I really feel like they should have just thrown in a third name for the third movie. So it should have been Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Miguel. Or
Ant-Man, the Wasp, and the Weasel.
And I can't do that.
Just Quantumania. It's like some weird county fair nonsense.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what it's probably going to happen is you're going to go to Las Vegas, you're going to see the slot machine, and it says Ant-Man the Wasp and Quantumania, and you're going to get the Quantumania ball or something like that. The Quantum Jackpot.
Give me another reason to hate slot machines, Vegas. Do it. Dude, I don't understand how I win. They're dumb. Well, you won this time, but you spin it again, you get the exact same things. Oh, you don't win that. Shut up. Give me a game where I know how I win, and that way I can be sad when I lose my money and understand how I lose.
You literally aren't supposed to know. You're not supposed to know. They just want you to sit there and keep pumping money into it and watching the flashy pictures, and then something happened.
Nope, not for me. Not for me.
He's just gonna go sit at the blackjack tables.
Absolutely, the dollar blackjack that I had to fist fight somebody to get a chair at. That or the roulette table where the roulette dealer is just over life and doesn't care anymore. And I'm just like, spin it again, and they're like, damn right.
Okay, but we digress. The 5th episode of Loki. Thoughts on the fact that they were able to enchant Alioth, and that was the way to defeat the big bad for the episode.
I thought it was a good use of power, because it's like, all right, how do you fight that thing? Like, Loki's not going to take knives to it. There's a smoke monster. How are you going to stab that thing?
Well, they were able to grab it, though, so that's also kind of weird.
Yeah. And then Kid Loki gave our Loki the flaming sword,
which I believe
sick.
Is called Leviathan. So
I think so.
It has a name, so thus it will be more important coming in hopefully the 6th episode.
Right, or in Love and Thunder.
Or Love and Thunder if Loki shows up in Thor Love and Thunder.
If he doesn't, they're screwing up. But
I mean, it might be Sylvie. Sylvie might show up in Thor: Love and Thunder,
which would be way what's up. So he has the cool sword, and I was like, hell yeah, that's dope. Oh, he's got to distract him to get enchanted. Oh, that's sick. Oh, whoa, there's a big ass portal in his chest now. Whoa. Okay. Malfoy made a really good point, and I really enjoyed it. Also, classic Loki, like cry laughing, screaming about glorious purpose as he's like maintaining the image of Asgard.
Yes.
Like, that was beautiful. That was amazing.
Yeah, Richard E. Grant did an amazing job, and for the character that we've only got to know in one episode, like the fact that he was essentially a coward, like he didn't die at the hand of Thanos, wouldn't hit on a planet by himself forever, comes out and he's like, nah, I'm not letting anybody go out like this. I'm going to be the distraction. Creates all of Asgard, shows the two Lokis that, hey, or Loki and Sylvie, hey, you have a lot of potential if you're willing to tap into it.
Because he said earlier in the episode, like, I never understood why everybody wanted to use blades. Why would you do that when you could just perfect your magic? Yeah. And it's like, whoa. So that's what, like, a perfect magic Loki looks like.
Oh, that's right. Someone did say that your idea is coming to fruition, maybe, your other idea, because classic Loki looks a lot like Kermit the Frog's outfit. So Muppet Avengers is right there.
Just saying. Muppet Avengers. Everybody, okay. Anybody out there listening, blow up Twitter. Tweet at Mitch, tweet at Journey, tweet at us, the Journey and the Mystery Duo, tweet at Geek Elite. Just Avengers Muppets. We need to talk about it. We need to set a concrete cast on this. I want it. I need it in my life.
I mean, I feel like Kermit has to be Loki now. Like, it's the only thing that works. But that's where we see classic Loki leave off. We see Kid Loki decide, nah, I'm not going to go through the TVA tempad. I'm going to stay here and roll over the void. He takes off with Croaky, the alligator Loki. And that Loki is also a little bit full with President Loki's hand in him.
Was it President Loki or was it Boastful Loki?
It was President Loki that lost a hand to yes. Croaky. Yeah. Okay.
So I thought that scene was great. Just the all-out brawl with all the Lokis. I was like, what the hell? There's so many of you out here.
They all turned on each other. Surprise, surprise.
Like at the drop of a hat.
Honestly, all those people that were with President Loki, I didn't realize that those were Lokis. I just thought they were other guys in the void that he took on as his army. Like, I understood that some of them had horns, but they used like handlebars to mimic the horns. I thought they were just like, like the Joker gang.
Yeah. That could be a thing. I just assumed that they were Lokis, and that was the joke, was that like President Loki rolled up with this army of like lesser Lokis because he's like, I'm a true leader. Y'all suck. And they're like, all right, yeah, true. And then they went and tried to mess up Kid Loki. I do like that Boastful Loki had a hammer.
So I'm wondering if that made that's supposed to mean that he was worthy of Mjolnir, or that's supposed to be a version of Mjolnir, but obviously like he betrayed his other Lokis, so is that make him worthy to hold Mjolnir, or is that not even a thing? Like in his version of his timeline, did Odin even say only the worthy should wield Mjolnir?
I think he went and took it before he could.
Oh, that's fair. I could see that.
Like, what if that's his Nexus event? Like, we didn't get to learn what his Nexus event was.
True. Because
like Kid Loki killed Thor.
Yep.
Classic Loki ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Gator Loki was a gator.
Yeah, what was Boastful Loki's Nexus event? It's a good call.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for season finale tonight.
Yes. When we finally get to the season finale, I mean, it's been difficult. It's been difficult to avoid any spoilers. I'm hoping I'm hoping one of the tweets that I saw from Malfoy didn't spoil something for me. I don't want to go over it, but
yeah, Malfoy, you no spoiler ass bitch.
I honestly have no idea if what I read is a spoiler or not, because I read it kinda and then I was like, wait, no, I don't want to read this.
It was Agatha all along. You're right, bollocks, 100%.
That's what it's going to be at the end of Phase 4. She's just going to show up and yell "cut," and then everybody's going to be like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. You took 10 years of my life.
I don't think Phase 4 is going to be all 10 years, but I get what you're saying.
But like at the end of our next big bad, she's just like, cut. And I'm like, I can't. Nope. That's almost as bad as it was all a dream.
Oh, that would be just as bad. That would definitely be just as bad.
I'm not saying I would do this, but I think I know people that would poop their pants with anger.
I've never evacuated my bowels out of anger, so
Chat, you ever been so mad you shit yourself? Add that to the bingo square. I'm gonna start asking every week.
I mean, I feel like I've maybe had an anger shit. Like I've just been so angry I had to go poop, or I just pooped while I was angry, but not so much like. Yeah, I got so angry I pooped myself.
Oh my god. We have a great informative, well thought out conversations here on Journey into Mystery.
Oh yes.
It's so I don't think I have anything else to say on Loki. Do you have anything else to say on Loki, or should we talk about Black Widow?
Yeah, no, a couple more things like.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Ravonna Renslayer, she's on her way to also get to the end of time. Do you think that she is she all bad? Is she just following orders? Like, what's your thoughts on her at this moment?
She sucks.
She sucks. That's neither here nor there. Like,
yeah, no, she's a huge turd. She corrupted my girl Miss Minutes, and I don't know, man. It's just you don't do that. Miss Minutes is a real one, and you turned her into a snitch. So like you're dead to me. I think that she's trying to do the best she can, but she also doesn't understand everything herself. So she's going off of like the greater understanding of what propaganda has been fed to her about the TVA and what they do. But she has to have some sort of like doubt somewhere to even be willing to try to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Either way, even if she has like some big like redemption moment, she still sucks.
So the only thing she could do at this moment is to sacrifice herself for the others, right?
For Mobius, and then maybe we'll talk.
Well, Mobius, like we said, he's on a mission to go back there and figure out what's going on. So
all he wanted was to date that girl. He wanted to date her so good, but like, nah, it's fine, whatever. No, and then she's like, "What about a drink?" And then she prunes his ass, and like, "Nah, you had your chance with my boy."
I mean, she's like a cult member, right? She's just follows blindly, and then now something is kind of showing its head, and she has to try and she wants to get to the crux of it, so to speak.
Yeah, she still sucks though.
Okay, fair enough.
They could have had fun jet ski dates, but they didn't.
Any predictions you want to throw in there for episode 6, the final episode?
Our Loki is gonna die.
Oh, okay. Tom Hiddleston no more.
Well, yeah, I don't think so. I think he Yeah, I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna double down on this. He's gonna die. Sylvie's our new like Loki-esque person in the MCU, and he might show up every now and again if she's like hanging out with Thor because she doesn't want to have to say anything to him. She's just like, I'm your brother.
I think either Sylvie or Kid Loki moves forward, just because there is also precedent for Kid Loki in like Young Avengers. So
also that I just want we have enough people for a team at this point.
This is true. This is very true.
Give us Young Avengers, you cowards.
Young Avengers, Dark Avengers, and I'm gonna say it, so mark it off on your bingo sheets. Thunderbolts.
Boom.
We have them all. We have all three settings.
So real quick, I don't want to derail us too big with this little thought. Give us a Young Avengers show in a similar style to Young Justice.
Oh, okay.
Because Young Justice was fantastic.
I really enjoyed the second season, like after they had their little time jump.
Yes. I loved Young Justice start to finish. I thought it was fantastic. If you give us a Marvel-based show with the same kind of like emotional poignance that Young Justice had, I think you have something spectacular on your hands. You give us all of the like nonsensical, we go fight bad guys because that's what we do kind of like superhero show, but then you also give us like the drama of it, of like having to juggle being a hero and having a real life and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm here for it. I'm so down. Please give us that. Don't give Mitch that, because then he's just going to complain about it the same kind of way he complains about Spider-Man Homecoming. But
that's right.
I'm here for it.
All right, that's Loki episode 5. We're on our way to Loki episode 6, and I can't wait. I know there are people in the chat that have already watched it, so thank you for keeping mum on anything that could be spoiler.
Mm-hmm. I have so many filters on my Twitter right now. Just so many.
However, we're going to get to talk about Black Widow now. That's right. Natasha Romanoff is back, kind of. We're going back in time. We're going to right after Civil War, right before Infinity War, and we're gonna see what it is that made Natasha the way she is.
Lots of heartbreak. It's a story full of sighs and bad choices. There's some subterfuge. There's some letdown. There's some prison arm wrestling.
Which the guy that he breaks the arm of, that's a Easter egg. That's a guy that's like a bear. Also, Ursa Major is the character's name. Like, he turns into a bear.
Oh, sick!
Yeah,
I didn't catch that one.
That's why he calls him the bear. Like when he walks away after he breaks his arm.
I just thought he was a big Russian dude, so
right.
He called him a bear.
New characters we get in this movie. We get Yelena Belova, her little sister, Red Guardian, Alexei, her foster father, adopted father, Melina, her adopted mother, Dreykov, the leader of the Red Room program, and Taskmaster, one of my favorite characters from the comic books.
Mm-hmm. So let's address the elephant in the room first.
How dare you call me an elephant?
Wow, all right. Anyway, Mitch has an attitude. How you doing, chat? But let's address the glaring bit first. You love Taskmaster.
I do.
How do you feel about this Taskmaster?
I'm all for it.
Okay, good. I'm right there. I thought it was a cool version. I thought it was a cool way to do it in a more grounded setting.
So
say that very loosely, but like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, they are jumping from a falling satellite, and surviving.
Yeah, but
so.
like they had a reasonable explanation for it of like, well, he's in everybody's head. He's just gave her away to mimic people, and you're like, all right, I'm down.
So that is my one grievance with the new addition or the recreation of the character is that instead of Taskmaster's ability is supposed to be his mutant ability. He is supposed it's supposed to be photographer. Reflexes anything he sees he can do. Now they've changed it into more of a mechanical one. It's science at its best, right? It's either because she's watching it on the screen that the computer is helping her do it. At least that's how I read it. Someone did say that Dracoff does say something about having photographic memory. So I don't know if they end up using that the same way, but yes, that was the one thing. But the whole gender change, not a big deal to me because there's absolutely nothing about the history of Taskmaster that really is set in stone. Like he's a mysterious character anyways, so changing it to Antonia instead of Tony is not that big a deal.
Right. I also like that they kept us guessing for a while, all through the trailers and everything, all the way up to the big reveal in the movie of even just the gender of Taskmaster. The costume, the armor that she wears is great because it's not like they were like, it's Taskmaster but sexy. Like, like I liked that. I liked that a lot. Where it's like, no, she's functional. Like everything that she had, like every bit of her like outfit is function. There's nothing that's like, but she's also a girl. Like I appreciated that.
And also to make it the character that Natasha seemingly killed. Like she thought she killed off Antonia Dracoff because she needed to kill Director Dracoff. I don't remember what his first name was, but her not dying, getting scarred up, like, yeah, here's your past coming to haunt you, literally.
Mm-hmm. So Malfoy wrote out a very nice couple of posts here. They're very short, but in typical Malfoy fashion. He said, winners, Red Guardian, Yelena, and the Prison Escape. Losers, Milena, Dreykov, and Taskmaster. I get this is an unpopular opinion, though.
I mean,
so Malfoy, I'm going to need you to elaborate a little bit on the losers.
I mean, I understand why there might be some hate for Milena because really Rachel Weisz is barely used in this movie. I honestly think the reason why that is because when she gets shot at the beginning of the movie and is led away like practically dying, I think that we were supposed to believe that she is Taskmaster, like that she is the one that's behind that suit. It's a red herring, and I think that's why we don't see a lot of her in the movie. And then, yes, also, she is forgiven quite a bit for being a very big part in human trafficking of these young women. So I can understand if that's the reason why Malfoy is calling her a loser. And Dracoff is just your classic, villain. Like, he is a bad guy. So,
yeah, and the fact that they rock up to Milena's farm, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, haha, how's it going? It's great to see you kids." And like they have the thing, but like the minute that she brings that pig in and tells it to stop breathing, I'm sorry, you're dead to me. Like, you're telling me that you've developed this technology and you gave it to this scumbag of a dude who has been doing awful things to kids for years.
However,
and now he just has a way in and you're okay with that?
I mean,
you're garbage.
Well, she's also been through the Red Room 4 times. Like, that is, she could be experiencing like a Stockholm syndrome, like kind of thing, like, obviously she's on her own. She could leave whenever she wants, but she's still there experiencing it, going through it.
Maybe that's probably like rather insensitive of me to say, but like, nah, you suck.
It's fair. No, it's fair. It's you can't really excuse the help that she provided for all of that. So, but yes, the breakout from the prison, just like when the avalanche is coming, he's like, yeah, avalanche, of course. All that noise, it's gonna be bad. But the best part of the movie for me is all the bickering between the four of them, or more often than not, Red Guardian, Yelena, and Natasha, as if they are a real family. Like, as much as Natasha and Red Guardian kind of are like, it was kind of fake, it's basically not real. Like, to them, they go right back into it of what you see in a normal family of, I can't believe you're like this, like, kind of stuff.
No, I loved the like emotional drama that was that dinner scene, where Yelena's like, "Fine, really? It was fake to you guys? It's the happiest I've ever been, and you're just gonna tell me it wasn't real? All right, whatever." And she like leaves to go get drunk by herself. That was amazing. That was great.
Which then leads to a David Harbour rendition of American Pie,
which was such a sweet moment. I like the story that he told her about like what it means to be a dad. It's like frostbite can set in very quickly. So my dad, he had to pee on my hands, and it's like, what? What? It's about making the hard choices as a parent.
Just the version of him that is the American, and that's, I'm throwing up the quotes, and then the version of him that's the real him, like, are two starkly different characters, and I love that too.
Completely different. So updates from Malfoy's opinions here. I just found them generic in a functional way for the main four characters' relationships, but I just didn't find it engaging once it got to the climax. Rachel Weisz seemed bored, to be honest. Personal taste on Taskmaster, probably. I like magic or pew-pew superpowers, not fights real good. Fights real goods in quotes. And Red Guardian and Yelena singing together is my favorite scene in the movie. It was just a sweet moment.
It is.
After all the nonsense, just for them to take a minute and be like, all right, we're good. It's like, everything's okay. And that was as close to them admitting any sort of feeling for each other. That if they had outright, like if Yelena had ever outright just been like, our family was fake, but I love you, that would have like been weird. But that moment was as much of that as we needed.
Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Speaking of fight scenes, though, I do wish I would have got to see more Taskmaster fight scenes. Like, I feel like we got the one in Norway with the
on the bridge,
Black Widow and Taskmaster, but we definitely we could have definitely seen more. All the mimicking fights. So you saw Captain America in there. We saw T'Challa in there. We saw Hawkeye. Did you catch any others?
Not off the top of my head, but Natasha does continue her streak of stealing people's shields.
True. You're absolutely right.
Every time that there's been a shield user in a movie that she's been in, at some point she fights the shield user with their shield or uses it instead of them. And she did it this time around also. So I was like, all right, there we go. You just like shields. Trying to think who else might have been in there, because there's probably somebody else like deep down in there that we just missed.
Well, I mean, obviously Black Widow was in there because Taskmaster does the pose, as Yelena likes to point out. Why do you always pose? You're such a poser.
With the hair flip.
The hair flip and the boobs out. Which then when she does it, when she falls from the ceiling and she's like, that's so gross. Why would she do that? Like, I loved it. I was like, that is perfect, like, little sister stuff.
They were the perfect surrogate siblings.
Yes, they were.
They really were.
Now, Magic Bollocks. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go for it.
I was going to say, Magic Bollocks is going to. Well, he was part of the group that kind of not denied me, but I want to say almost ran me out of the room with my suggestion here. So at one point, right before the cell closes on Taskmaster, I believe that's the moment. A wrist knife comes out of her hand. Like she makes a fist and a wrist knife comes out like on top. And I was like, is that a nod to Wolverine?
I want to say yes because I want mutants so bad.
Everybody else was like, nah, you're stretching too much. But I was like, I don't know. I said the same thing when they said there's earthquakes under the ocean. What should we do about it? And everybody was like, that's Namor. And I was like, that's a stretch. It's just an earthquake. There's always earthquakes in the end of the ocean. But now when I try and I do it, I'm stretching. I get it.
All right, but that I'm not gonna say you're stretching. Magic Bullocks just does say that it's a Mr. Fantastic level of stretch, though.
Well, call me Reed Richards then.
Now, you suckered me in with that one, man. I want the mutants so bad. That's a good question. Malfoy wants to know who else could it be.
Yeah, a knife coming out of the wrist like that's not a common thing. It's not a common way to fight.
If it's just the one blade, that's
it is just the one blade, but it's like a big blade. It's like a blade that's the size of her palm.
Yeah,
it's like a punching dagger from D&D.
Right. It's Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Duh.
But Baraka's is underneath her hand.
It goes over the top.
Does it?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
But all right, since we're talking about Wolverine for a second, I don't think that the MCU needs Wolverine. I think if the MCU is going to do anything, so that way you don't have to get Hugh Jackman involved again, because let's face it, anybody that you cast as Wolverine at this point is going to be under so much scrutiny. Give us X-23, cowards.
Do it.
Like that's our Wolverine of the MCU. Just give us X-23.
I'm for it.
Like we've had enough Wolverine. Give us
wait a few more years. Let Daphne King get a little bit older, and I say cast her again.
Absolutely, Malfoy said the exact same things that you did at pretty much the same time.
So what was it that Magic Bollock said earlier that I cut you off on?
Oh, yeah, because we were both bringing it up at the same time. He said that this movie had the right amount of humor at the exact moments that it was needed.
Yes.
Which Malfoy backed up with David Harbour did a great job with his comedic timing.
But which is kind of, I mean, I feel like that is a staple now of Marvel movies, of MCU movies. Like, They know when it is they need to throw in that laugh so that they can undercut the seriousness, any little messages. And that's more anything that's more of just like we can't lose certain parts of the audience. Because if you go too dramatic, you're gonna like some of the I don't know, dude bros are gonna be like, nah, I don't want this. And then if you go, too comedic, then maybe the older couples are like, this isn't for me anymore, kind of thing.
If you go too dramatic, you get Thor: The Dark World.
Fair.
If you go too comedic, but the jokes don't land, you get Iron Man 3.
Yes, looking right at you, Shane Black.
Tony straight up call a kid a pussy like that? Like that? Whatever, man.
Yeah, that's Shane Black for you.
Like, it was... That whole movie just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But anyway, yes, Magic Bullocks, this was a theater viewing for me. Was this a theater viewing for you as well, Mitch? I don't remember. I know you said.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry that I forgot.
That's okay. What do you think happens with all the Black Widows now?
I want a Widow Disney Plus show where they're just like figuring it out.
Do you think that we get a second and third Black Widow movie from here with Yelena as the lead?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because why not do another franchise, right?
I don't think so.
I mean, like we're getting we got 3 Captain America movies. We're gonna get 4 Thor movies, but that could be like going forward. That could be 3 Thor movies with Chris Hemsworth and 3 Thor movies with Natalie Portman. We got three Tony Stark Iron Man movies. We got 3.
They were Tony Stark movies.
They are Tony Stark movies.
They weren't Iron Man movies. They were Tony Stark movies.
I mean, you come for the Tony Stark. You stay because of the Iron Man.
They dangle the new suit in front of you, so you're like, I gotta know.
So yeah, why not? Why not going forward? Because I mean, as much as this is a Natasha origin story, this is a Yelena origin story, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's more of a Yelena story than it is a Natasha story, to be completely honest. Especially with the setup for Dark Avengers at the end, because that's that. Look me in the eye, Marvel. This is 2 boxes at the same time for you guys at home. Marvel, look me in the eye right now, right? You're not bringing Val around to like talk to everybody to start up a new Avengers team, and it's not Dark Avengers.
I mean, it's going exactly the same way Nick Fury did. You know, like Nick Fury showed up at the end of Iron Man and was like, "So you think you're the only one with superpowers? I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative." Like, this is a character who, in the comic books, is the same as Nick Fury.
Yeah.
She's a super spy, and she's putting together a team now.
So let's run down the team real quick. We got U.S. Agent.
Yep.
We've got
Black Widow,
and there's a third one, isn't there?
Not yet. I mean, we're assuming that she's going to go grab another a couple more people. Don't know who the other people are going to be, but we've only seen her twice. We saw her in
I thought we saw her 3 times. My bad.
Captain America. Well, we saw her twice in Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier. But both times she was talking to John Walker, and then we saw her right now in Black Widow. So you have right there, you have your Captain America and you have your Black Widow.
Black Widow.
So you need a Hulk. You need a
Abomination.
Thor. Yep, Abomination would be your Hulk. So that might show up in Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. You have your you need your Thor, which you would think would be Loki.
Sylvie?
Sylvie could definitely show up. In the comic books, it was Ares. So I don't know if they want to get into that. And then you need a Hawkeye. So who do you get to be the evil version of Hawkeye? I mean, it's right there. It's in the name, right?
And I think that's going to be the point of the Hawkeye show, is to get us whoever that one is supposed to be, as well as introducing his daughter as...
Well, Kate Bishop isn't his daughter.
Not as... Yeah, never... Words.
But no, I get what you're saying, because that's he's showing his daughter how to use an arrow at the beginning of Endgame, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they're doing Kate Bishop with, and I'm losing her name, which usually happens. So please strike that one off on your bingo card.
Mitch forgot a name. I think there should also be a square for like Ian makes assumptions.
She was in the Bumblebee movie. And she's the voice of Spider-Gwen. Why am I losing her?
Haley Steinfeld?
There it is, Haley Steinfeld.
Thank you, Malfoy.
She is going to be Kate Bishop, also known as Hawkeye, in that series. And now Val is sending Yelena after Hawkeye because I guess technically he is the reason why Natasha is dead.
But that's like saying that the coffee in the morning is the reason I have to poop.
I mean, it kind of is.
I mean, yeah, but like, nah.
So, look, the rule was you have to sacrifice something you love to get the Soul Stone, right?
But he didn't sacrifice her.
She jumped. This is correct, but he had to love her for it to count. So,
but he actively saved her, and then she chose to die. There was no willing sacrifice there.
But it still had to be his love. It had to be something that he loved.
I'm upset.
Obviously, we're going to get to that point in the Hawkeye TV series, and the two of them are going to fight, and then they're going to be like, "Wait, I didn't kill her. She jumped. We shouldn't be fighting." I hope they don't do that because it's a little too cliche. I really feel like we've gotten past that, and we can get to a better thing of maybe even like Yelena's going to be like, "Yeah, Val came to me. She totally tried to get me to kill you. So what's our next move?"
Is he still Ronin?
I mean,
or did he go back to Hawkeye?
Last we saw him was Endgame, and during Endgame, he's just kind of running around. So I don't know if he's Hawkeye or Ronin at that moment.
All right. So the chat chimed in here a little bit. Malfoy said, "Nat loves herself enough for the universe to deem it worthy." And Magic Ball X, "Someone just had to die. The rest is fluff." Malfoy still got the floofy mohawk, so it's Ronin. For at least that's what they're determining.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'll allow it. Why not?
Sure, of course. When the one Black Widow falls off the roof when she's chasing Yelena and Natasha, and she's kind of like laying there with her leg broken. Did that also, like, to me that was very like foreshadow? Not, it can't be foreshadow since we already know what happens, but it's like reminiscent of how Natasha dies, right?
Yeah, it's is foreboding the right word?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but like I 100% agree with you where it's like we know that pose, but like it hasn't happened in your timeline yet.
Yeah. So it's foreshadowing for Nat. It's bringing up an image for us.
Yeah, it's a foreshadowing callback.
There you go.
It's harbinging, says John.
Okay, sure.
We'll
go with that. Best parts of the movie for you? Any grievances for you?
The grievance was every Marvel movie, every MCU movie, you have to go in with like some amount of suspension of disbelief, right?
Of course.
You have to. The part that made me go, nah, was when she broke her nose to not be able to smell the pheromones.
Yep. She severed the nerve ending.
I was like, that's where we're going with. Cool. All right. Sure. Like, it wasn't that big a deal, but it just made me go.
But I love that they brought back in that scene. They're bringing back the first time we saw her in Avengers, and when she's interrogating that one dude, and she's talking to Coulson on the phone. It's like, give me a few minutes. This guy's giving me everything, and he's like, wait, what? No, you're the one tied up in the chair. And then the same thing happens with Loki, right? When she gets him to be like, you have a monster on this flying ship of yours. Oh, the Hulk. That's your game. Okay, cool. Like, it's the whole time she's trying to get him to punch her so that it can sever the nerve ending, but she's like, but obviously you don't even know how to punch right, so I have to do this myself.
I thought the pheromones was so the whole movie is just a James Bond movie.
Yes.
That's why they were showing Moonraker at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Marvel's Moonraker. But like, I liked the pheromone thing. It was goofy, but it was really fun. It was a cool like angle for that. The dude has weird mind control over all the women in his facility. Of course, he's gonna have something extra above that. Like, sure, I'm down. I thought that Red Guardian was the star of this movie. Any scene that he was in, he owned that scene. And you have my full attention, and I would watch a miniseries. Especially if we got to see the Captain America fight, because I'm pretty sure that's now I'm spacing on names from Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Isaiah?
What was that?
Isaiah Bradley?
Yeah, Isaiah.
I mean, that would be the time period would have to sync up better than Captain America or than Steve Rogers, because obviously Steve was in the ice, just like they pointed out.
Yeah. More like Woomerick. Get out. You're done.
I mean, I love that Natasha calls him out on it too. It's like, this is the first time you're seeing us and you want to talk about you? Like, what is up with that?
God. I love the cast of this movie. I think they did an amazing job with the family unit in this movie.
I also I completely agree with you. I think they did do an amazing job casting. I also thought it was hilarious that the only person that is actually Russian in the cast is Olga, who played Taskmaster, or Atonia, and yet they don't let her speak. Like, everybody else has to do a fake Russian accent, but the one who's actually Russian doesn't get to talk.
But their accents were good. It's not like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Fair. I'm with you, but yeah, I remember after at the end of the movie, I was like, "Hey, look, I have a super soldier's body," because I have David Harbour's body at the end of this movie. So there's that.
What was your highlight of this movie? What's the one thing that made you go, yes?
Ooh, the one thing that made me go yes. I would definitely have to say, I really enjoyed the scene at the farm. Like, I know it's not action packed or anything like that, but just the them around the dinner table, and then Natasha and Melina kind of talking to each other about the whole thing, and she's like, I called the Red Room an hour ago. Like, all that just plays out real well. It's like, you know, one daughter goes off with mom, the other daughter goes off with dad, and they all kind of trying to keep the family unit together. It really spoke to me as a scene.
It was a great moment in that movie. It really was. I think mine was probably we finally got information about what the hell
Budapest was?
What the hell Budapest was.
Or Budapest.
Budapest. Whatever, but like,
his character too was kind of weird. Like, this added on. I don't know if there's gonna just be more, they're setting him up for more of him in like the further Black Widow movies or what, but like, I don't know.
There was something that was trying to connect him to the Tinkerer.
Oh.
Because they have a similar last name.
Okay.
But we saw the Tinkerer in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Correct.
Because he was part of the Vulture gang.
Right.
And this dude is way more handsome and has an accent. And there's got to be some weird distant family thing going on if that's the connection that we're going to make.
Yeah, I don't think that's the connection we're going to make there. Okay. This movie, and you don't have to come up with your ranking, but I did my official Twitter ranking.
Then we go check Twitter.
This falls at number 9 for me out of the 24 Avengers.
9.
Yeah, 24 Marvel MCU movies.
All right. I don't have a ranking for it yet. I'm going to be completely honest. I need to see it one or two more times.
That's fair. I probably should watch it another time just to make it official.
Yeah, Mitch, it's the thing that got me hurt. 2 to make it true. All right? Malfoy says 17 for him.
Wow. Okay.
Wowzers.
Wow.
All right. I'm not going to get in the middle of that.
No, but we will definitely have to have Malfoy back on to talk about these lists once we get more MCU movies out.
Mm-hmm. He said it feels bad for me too.
We are heading on our way to Shang-Chi now. We have one more episode of Loki. We have What If coming out. Wait. What's the toy? What's the toy you wanted to see come from this movie?
Prison Break playset.
I mean, you need the whole Red Room. Which, how exactly you hide that up in the air when we know at least there's
helicarriers.
Yeah, but people know about the helicarriers. No one's supposed to know about the Red Room.
Yeah, true. That feels like something that Nick Fury knows about, and he
Right.
just decided not to do something about.
Oh, that's not good.
Nick Fury, you're complacent in this whole thing, which makes you just as guilty as Dreykov. Nick Fury, I'm gonna say it, Nick Fury, you shitty person, you shitbag.
I mean, he literally tells everybody he only does what's best for him anyway. So,
I mean, fair.
all right. Yes, the Red Room playset airship that would be the premier toy.
Magic Bullock says he wants the Red Guardian action figure from the Prison Break.
Yeah, the one with the no suit on with the tattoos everywhere. I think that's the toy.
No, the action figure with the pull string.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sure they made that. I'm sure it's out there.
Right.
Oh, I need the plane. I need the plane with the Red Guardian hanging off the side as he's trying to shoot at the SHIELD agents, which were actually Hydra agents. So that as we got to learn.
SHIELD agents, but they're actually Hydra agents, but like SHIELD agents nonetheless.
Yes.
SHIELD has a sketchy pit. So, never mind. That's a question for a different day. Yeah. I also want the Taskmaster helmet.
Yeah. I mean, I just want that helmet in general.
Yeah, it's so sick. So sick.
Need the helmet and the hood to go over.
Yes. Such a great costume for Taskmaster.
Yep.
Like, such a great way to bring that character to life. I love it.
All right. There you go.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is. Black Widow. We made it. We made it to the movie.
We did it.
We made it through the podcast. It feels so good to be watching MCU movies in the theater again.
In post, before this actually gets put up as a podcast, put people cheering here because this is a milestone for us. Woo, yeah, we did it. Nah, I'm excited. I'm stoked to be back into a cycle of regular releases again. So, woo!
Next week, we are coming back with Spider-Man 2. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. So you know
who's
who,
on the show to talk to us about his favorite Spider-Man or his favorite superhero movie of all time. He says this is the best superhero movie ever made.
I hope it holds up.
I mean, he did a live tweet of it.
He did. You're right.
He did, and he had a great time, it looked like.
Ian, where can people find you online?
Hi, my name is Ian, also known as Ian Flux, also known as the person who sits to the left of Mitch on Wednesdays. So, if you want to find me, you can find me at twitch.tv/IanFlux or on Twitter at IanFlux12, on Instagram at IanFlux, and on TikTok. I'm posting a bunch of TikTok videos recently of stream highlights and things of that sort. So that's all on Instagram, on TikTok as just at Ian Flux there as well. So go give me a follow, check me out there, tell me, hey, I love to chat about just about anything. So give me a holler, and if you ask very nicely, which I'll ask very nicely for you, since he probably can't hear you because the internet and whatnot. Mitch has a bunch of places that you can find him. And don't let him forget to tell you about our Patreon, where you can suggest that we talk about Muppet Avengers. So, Mitch, would you kindly tell us where people can find you on the internet and how they can make Muppet Avengers a thing?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Mitchipedia, GEM. GEM stands for Geek Elite Media. The rest of Geek Elite Media is at Geek Elite Media on Twitter, at Geek Elite Media on Instagram, and Facebook.com/Geek Elite Media is our Facebook page. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Geek Elite Media, for things that are only exclusive for those who are our patrons, which you get to make suggestions, and one of your suggestions could be Muppet Avengers. Should be.
I just want to make Mitch have that conversation in depth.
Also go to our website, geekelitemedia.com, for archived episodes of this podcast and other podcasts on our network. And whatever podcatcher you use to listen to us, please rate and review us. It helps spread the word of our network. But until next time, this is Journey into Mystery on the Geek Elite Media Network, saying always remember to geek out.
This concludes our broadcast. Beep.